Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, 29th day of May, 24th day of IYAR. We're continuing on in our laws about how we honor a Shul or a Beis HaMedrash. We had told you that eating in a Shul or a Beis HaMedrash is not such a great thing to do. Under certain circumstances, we'll allow it, but it's not the ideal, okay? But these are some of the kinds of circumstances where we would allow it. If you're making a dedication for your shul, a Chanukas Habayis, for a new shul, or you're writing a Torah for the shul, and you're making it a festive occasion and refreshments are being served, it is okay to do that kind of celebration inside of a shul. On Simchas Torah, you know that after we finish the laning, a lot of people have Kiddush and then go back and do Musaf. So that kind of Kiddush also is part of how we stretch out and manage to stay through that whole long Simchas Torah celebration without going home. So that kind of eating inside of the shul is kind of like accepted, and we allow that. If you want to make a kiddush for the man who's been honored with Chasan Torah or Chasan Bereshis, that also is a kiddush that can be made inside of the shul. If you have finished a fast day and everyone just daven marv and you're worried about people getting all horribly dehydrated before they get home and everything, you're allowed to give them a little bit of refreshments after the fast inside of the shul. If somebody's having a yortzeit, you may be familiar with the custom that little bits of cake and schnapps or stuff like that is given out at the end of the shacharis davening in the morning, and everyone says l'chaim. They say things like the neshama should have an aliyah, the neshama should go up higher, in heaven, and that food, we're all lenient about that and allow it to be served inside of the shul also. Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky Zatzal gave a very interesting reason for that, and he said it was because there was a custom, or there can be a custom, of people to fast on their yortzeit, okay? To fast on the yortzeit of a parent or something like that. So in lieu of the fast, if somebody wants to give out food to the poor people and have everybody and eat together with them on the morning of the yortzeit, then that sort of redeems you from the command to be, or the custom to be fasting on the yortzeit, and so giving out the food and eating it with the people who are quote unquote poor, it would be a good idea, and it redeems you from the command or custom to fast on that day. Now you might be thinking, oh, I don't see any poor people there. Those are all just the regular ordinary, some of them are very rich people who daven in the shul every morning, but they're kind of sort of considered poor just for the moment because they're rushing off to work, might not have a chance for breakfast. Your little piece of cake is refreshing them on the way to work, so they're sort of poor for the moment, and that can be done in the shul, and it can redeem you from your fasting obligation, which you possibly could have or would have done otherwise. Fundraising dinners can be held in the shul because they are for the shul purposes. But in all these situations, if other locations can be found, it would still be better if you could put them in the other locations. But if you have to, you could do it in the shul. Lastly, if you want to learn in the if you're learning in the Beis Medrash, and you want to just take a drink so that you won't have to interrupt your learning and go out to the water fountain, that is an acceptable interruption, and that kind of eating is certainly looked at as a good thing during your learning in the Beis Medrash. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.